But when I went to Pittsburgh, I really didn't even understand the whole tradition of what the black and gold was really all about until I got there. And then you really understand the significance of what Still a Nation really means, and the organization and how they run it from the ground up.
Fatman school. A friend of mine who I went to school with named Willie Colon played for the Steelers. And
I play with Willie C. What's up, Willie
I didn't know
C?
that you played with Willie. I didn't know you were there during the years that Willie was there.
Yeah.
Me and Willie went to Cardinal Hayes High School together in the Bronx. And I had no understanding until he came on the show and told me what Pittsburgh was like. I didn't understand the difference between a winning and a losing organization. So for you, what was going into Pittsburgh like, and what was that change from Michigan State to Pittsburgh? Because they do things completely different.
Man, no, I had no idea I was going to Pittsburgh. You know, I thought I was going to Baltimore at 5 or maybe Philly at 6. But when I went to Pittsburgh, I really didn't even understand the whole tradition of what the black and gold was really all about until I got there. And then you really understand the significance of what Still a Nation really means, and the organization and how they run it from the ground up. And it's a 5-star joint. It's just, you know, everybody that leaves, they try to come back because, you know, we got a standard. The standard is the standard. And whatever that means to you as a young man and as a football player, and when you step out on the football field, the standard is the standard. And you go out there and you lay it all on the line for everybody else. And it's just, you know, when I was in Pittsburgh for 7 years, I never been fined a day in my life because they put it in front of you as such that, you know, you're a grown man. You know, there are no rules, but if you can't govern yourself, you won't be here. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about it, as far as the organization is concerned, is that everybody that leaves, you know, you want to go back because you understand how special of a place that it really is. Once you leave, you're like, oh man, I was really playing football over there. And you know, just looking back as a kid, man, 21, 22, 23, we had some great football teams, man. You look at that team that we played on over there, man, we probably got 8 or 9 Hall of Famers to come off that team alone. And,
Serious
you know,
dudes. Who was on that team for people who don't know?
Oh man, well, when I first got there, it was, you know, Damani Dawson, Hall of Famer, LaVon Kirkland, Alan Faneca, Jerome Bettis, Hines Ward, Joey Porter, Casey Hamden, Troy Polamalu, James Ferrier, James Harrison. Like the list goes on.
When you said Porter, you said Harrison. And the one thing that Willie told me is that you guys, they would make you. He told me 2 things that really stuck with me. He said that Alan Faneca would not talk to him because he didn't know the other assignments. He said, I'm not talking to you because I don't trust you. You don't know this. You don't know that. Why I'm talking to you? He said the level of professionalism is so much greater over there. And he said that you go harder in practice against each other. And when the game came, the game was fun because your practice was harder than the game.
Right. There's no doubt about it. Coach Cowher, we'd be 6, 7 periods in the practice. He'd be like, yo, let's start this motherfucker over, man. The intensity ain't right. Start the practice over. From the calisthenics, he'd be like, what? Man, we've been in practice for 45 minutes already. He'd be like, yo, start the whole joint over. The attitude ain't right. And Willie C definitely right, man. Alan Faneca is arguably one of the best offensive linemen I ever played with in my life. From a guard perspective, he's the best I've ever played with. Damani Dawson, and I played with some great players. and you know, Red set the tone, and everything that he told you about Fam is exactly correct, man. You know, we held it to a high standard, and you know what? If you didn't, you know, we policed ourselves. The coach didn't have to tell us. Like, you know,
How did you police yourself?
we'd be like, look, man, look, you got to catch that ball, Plex, man. You out here fucking around. You got to catch that touchdown. You got to get that block. You got to make that tackle, whatever it may be. You know, we policed ourselves, and that's the one thing that is special about Pittsburgh. That doesn't happen in other organizations. Is that the players govern their own selves, and we hold our own selves to a higher standard. The coach ain't got to say nothing to us.
Fatman Scoop. Go to Fatman Scoop on Instagram TV or YouTube to see the full interview.